Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. First of all, happy new year. I am so happy to be in 2022. I feel like the last 2 years was just like, it was a lot. I am excited and moving forward to 2022. Now, with that being said, I did want to come on here and film a little video for you guys. And this video is going to be what I learned in 2021. Now, 2021 was full of blessings and lessons. Before I go on, I want to tell you guys, please subscribe to my channel. I am filming more content now. I'm taking YouTube on as my full-time job, so subscribe and I definitely won't let you down. I am posting a lot more content and you will enjoy it. Also, thumbs this video up if you like these types of videos so I can know to do more in the future. The first lesson I learned in 2021 was I am only human. OMG, this is probably the biggest one by far and the most important one. This was a big lesson I learned this year because for a long time, for a few years now, I've been trying to be perfect. I'm not even gonna lie, I've been super controlling, trying to control every aspect of my life, letting my anxiety get the best of me. Like, anxiety and control go hand in hand. You think the way to manage your anxiety is to control everything, you know, but in all actuality, we are only human. We can't really control much in this world. But I needed to learn to stop stressing and putting just like unnecessary stress on myself, taking on things that even Superwoman probably couldn't face. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not Superwoman, but a lot of the times I would try to take everything on my shoulders and handle everything, and I would give myself all of this pressure, which just wasn't good for my health, wasn't good for my mental health. It just wasn't good for the people around me. One thing that I'm definitely going to remind myself going on to this next year is you are just human. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up. Sometimes it's okay to not know what to do. Like, it's okay. You're only human. We're all here just figuring it out, just trying to get by day. So be easy on yourself. Don't be so harsh on yourself. If you do make a mistake, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for making that mistake, especially when you're young. Like, that's what we're gonna do. We're all here learning. Just take a deep breath. And relax. Next thing I learned in 2021 was be the love you want to receive. Be the love you want to receive. Be the love you want to receive. As humans, we all want love. That's what we want, like at the core of things. Like, we all want love. In order to receive love, you have to be love. You have to be the love that you want to get. If you want someone to show you affection, you have to show them affection. If you want someone to show you forgiveness, you have to show them forgiveness. If you want someone to show you consideration, you have to show consideration. You know what I mean? And this is in everything you do, you know? And a lot of the times we get caught up in, like, if someone does something bad to us, you know, I'm gonna hold that grudge and I don't trust that person and this is just that and that person is no good. I feel like that's a human thing to do, you know, but it might benefit you to forgive. You know why? Because one, you can just let it go, and those feelings and those emotions of anger or resentment for that person because they did something, it doesn't serve you. It will serve you better to let it go. And then you will receive forgiveness because you've been forgiving. This is what I feel. Probably not with that same exact person, but sometimes with that same exact person. Like, for instance, in a marriage, for you married people out there watching this, you probably know it's going to be a lot of times where you have to forgive your partner. There's going to be a lot of times where your partner is going to have to forgive you. And without forgiveness, like, think about a family. Think about how much times your sisters or siblings got on your nerves, or you got on their nerves. But you forgive each other, you came back, you let it go, and you move forward, you know? And basically, that all ties into being the love that you want to receive and putting out the good energy that you want back, you know? Being kind to people if you want kindness. Being kind to things. Being kind to yourself, you know? If you're not kind to yourself, if you don't love yourself, you won't receive the feeling of love. You will be miserable. You will be sad. You will fall deeper into depression if you don't find a way to love yourself and care for yourself and take care of yourself. You know what I mean? And I just feel like that's very important, being the love we want to receive. The next thing I learned in 2021 was you are beautiful. Now, going through pregnancy, my whole body changing and my personality changing, my mindset, like literally everything changed for me, you know? And with that came a lot of insecurities, because everything that I was secure in before, or that I felt confident in before, I kind of didn't have anymore, you know? And I kind of lost. And in that, I felt like I wasn't beautiful anymore, if I'm being all the way honest. I'm gonna do a whole nother video about like my body dysmorphia issues and my weight gain and weight problems and stuff like that. But for the most part, I remember a lot of this past year not feeling beautiful. Like if my husband would tell me every day, you are so beautiful, you're the most beautiful thing in the world, you look just as amazing, if not more amazing, the next day. But like, even if you have people around you that tell you you're beautiful, if you don't believe you're beautiful, if you don't say it to yourself, if you don't believe it for yourself, it really doesn't matter who says it, right? So it's very important to find the things that you find beautiful about yourself, and to know even the things you don't think are beautiful about yourself, it makes you you, and that's what's beautiful, you know? And I feel like I'm just starting to get my confidence back. I think that's another reason why I'm back on YouTube, because it was hard for me to be on camera if I didn't feel attractive, if I didn't feel pretty, if I was disgusted with myself, you know? Like, and that's just the honest truth. It was really hard for me. It was really hard for me to motivate myself to do the things that I liked, like being on YouTube, like filming videos, like doing my makeup, doing my hair, you know? Those are things that I genuinely enjoy. Even without the makeup and the hair and everything, feeling pretty again without all of that was a struggle. This all contributed, I feel like, to my anxiety and the depression that I've experienced this past year. There was a book that I read, The Secret, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later, but it's called The Secret. And basically it's like manifestation, right? And even in the Bible, because I am a Christian woman, in the Bible it tells you to carefully guard your thoughts, or control. It's a bunch of different translations, but it tells you to carefully guard your thoughts, because from them come life, you know? Basically, the way you think, the things you say, what you believe is what controls the trajectory of your life. I had to tell myself I was beautiful even when I didn't believe it. And this is how now I'm building confidence, because I'm finding little things about myself that I love. I'm taking care of myself better. Just one of the biggest things I learned this year was that I am beautiful. No matter what size my jeans are, no matter how many pimples I got on my face, no matter how crooked my teeth are, I am beautiful. God created me, and yeah. Next thing I learned in 2021 was your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Now, I've been to the hospital probably like 20 plus times just in this past year. You know what's the craziest thing about it? None of these hospital visits ended up with me being admitted, which means that a lot of the, and I really feel like a lot of the times what I went to the hospital for, it was a concern, but it was something I could have waited to go to the doctor about. You know what I mean? It was something that wasn't really life-threatening, something that I could have waited for. But a lot of times I let my anxiety get the best of me, and I'm like, oh, this like little bit of a hypochondriac, like, oh, this is wrong, and just think the worst thing about it, and like my mental will just go crazy, and I'm like, I need to go to the hospital right now. And now that I'm reflecting on everything and I'm getting help for my anxiety and stuff, I realized that that was my anxiety and my mental health manifesting into the physical realm. when your mind isn't right, your body starts to get sick, your body starts to feel sick. It's like you start to gain weight or you start to lose weight. Like, your mind is so powerful and it affects your physical body. I really wish therapy was more affordable and more accessible to a lot of people, because I feel like it's just as necessary as going and getting a checkup and going to a doctor's visit. Like, I think everyone should have a checkup on their mental health and, you know, do that for the rest of their lives regularly. Like, I think it's so important. And again, I don't want to make this video too long, but that is a very important thing, I feel, is that to never forget that your mental health is just as important as your physical. And the last thing I learned this year has to be, you can control your emotions. Now, this goes back into the book that I was telling you about, The Secret, and manifesting the life you want. Now, I'm not this big manifester, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have everything figured out, but I do know that before I felt like you couldn't control your emotions. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like, oh, one little anxious thought will pop up and that will trigger my emotions. I would feel sad or angry or whatever, and then I would just it would just like roll on like a snowball and get bigger and bigger and bigger. What I've now noticed is, and what I feel like changed me, was when I get that unsure thought, when I get that negative thought, I can say, you know what, I'm not really gonna listen to that. Like, let me say with the sickness that's going around right now, you know, you see a lot of fearful headlines and things like that like trigger fear in a lot of people. And sometimes I would get like a really bad thought about it, and then like, oh, I hope the such and such doesn't happen. But I would say, you know what, instead of thinking about that and the bad things that might happen, I think about, you know what, I'm healthy. You know what, I'm gonna take my vitamins right now. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna go work out. I'm pretty healthy. I'm strong. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna live very long. You know what I mean? And I will try to have positive thoughts to combat those feelings. And it is a very hard process, and it's a very hard thing to do, to try and control your emotions, but it is possible to combat those negative feelings and negative thoughts with positive ones, you know? And I hope that I can hold on to this and keep this going for years and years to come in my life, for the rest of my life, because it has helped me tremendously. Before, I used to let my emotions take over all of my decisions. Like, I used to have a thought, have an emotion, react. Like, and that is no way to live your life. That is going to ruin a lot of relationships, a lot of situations for you. And so I made it a point to try my best to control every emotion that I have. You know what I mean? Especially the negative ones. If I have a negative emotion, it cannot affect my daughter. It cannot affect my marriage. It cannot affect me to a point that will ruin my life. You know what I mean? Or it can't affect me that much. I have to assess. I have to think it through. Does this emotion serve me? If not, let me try to get a different emotion to come through. Let me think about something else positive. Let me shift my focus to the solution or a better situation. You know, before I felt so hopeless about that. Like, oh, I can never control my thoughts. I can never control how I feel. I just feel so like it was, I just thought it was so I thought it was so much passion, and I was like an empath. Like, I felt everything, and it was exhausting. But what was detrimental was that I would act on these emotions instead of thinking them through and controlling them. And I think that's probably because I'm turning 25 this year, 2022. Holla at me. Your girl's turning 25, and I feel like I'm maturing in a certain way. And I'm going out of that phase of, like, you know, teenage girl, young 20-something girl that's like super emotional and like overly emotional about everything. Like, your boyfriend breaks up with you and you're like, oh my god, I can't go on. Like, you know, like, I'm just not there anymore. And I feel like this is a tool that is really helping me. Not to say, trust me, I'm pretty sure this next year is gonna hit me with a whole lot more lessons, okay? But I'm glad I learned a few this past year. But yeah, that was what I learned in 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely comment below, what have you learned from this year? What has this past year showed you and revealed to you? And again, don't forget to like if you like this type of content, so I know to do more videos like this. Also, follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok. It'll all be linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.